In this session, we are going to look at a few topics in the Unit 4, Safety, Responsibilities and Rights. Moving on to the first topic, the title is Collegiality. What is collegiality? It is the tendency to support and cooperate with the colleagues. It has got primarily three central elements such as respect, commitment and connectedness. What is respect? Respect is valuing one's peers for their professional expertise and their devotion to the social goods promoted by the profession. In case of engineering, this means affirming the worth of other engineering engaged in producing socially useful and safe products. Right. So what is commitment then? Commitment means sharing a devotion to the moral ideals inherent in the practice of engineering. Even when there is a fierce competition among professionals working for rival profit making corporations, there should be a sense that other engineers share a concern for the overall good made possible through this competition. So that is actually called as commitment, right? What is correctedness then? Correctedness is an awareness of being a part of a cooperative undertaking created try shared commitments and expertise. So it is more than acting in ways that show respect for the peers, and one must do with an appropriate attitude of confirming the peers and with a sense of being united with them in an enterprise defined by some common goals. So these three elements actually form a part of collegiality. So what is collegiality? I repeat, tendency to support and cooperate with the colleagues, right? So the topic is loyalty. What is loyalty? Loyalty is the quality of being true and faithful in one's support. Let me just briefly define you in another definition. So it is more than obligation or duty, which are more specific. So obligation and duty are more formal, responsibility oriented. Am I right? So their base is legal and it is positional. So by contrast, loyalty is more a function of attitudes, emotion and a sense of identity, right? So loyalty is very important to an employer and it would be expected of all employees when they work for him. So this is actually loyalty. There are two types of loyalty. One is agency loyalty and the other one is identification loyalty. What is agency loyalty? Agency loyalty is acting to fulfill one's contractual duties to an employer. These duties are specified in terms of the particular tasks for one is paid as well as the more general activities of cooperating with colleagues and following legitimate authority within the corporation. Right. So, as the name implies, agency loyalty is entirely a matter of actions, whatever it motives. Right. So, what is then identification loyalty? It has as much to do with attitudes, emotions and a sense of personal identity as it does with action. Okay, so it includes willingness to meet moral duties with attachment, conviction and trust with the employer. Right. So for next topic is respect for authority. What is this respect for authority? Authority is the right to make decisions or to command subordinates, right? So authority is the right to do something or to tell someone else what to do. So they only have the right. Authority is actually the key to the managerial job, right? So it principally consists of the right to decide and command subordinates. So both are included, right? So authority empowers the superior to make a subordinate to do the work. So everybody in the organization from bottom to top level or top to bottom level possess some authority to secure cooperation from the subordinates, right? So it is basically having two types. One is institutional authority and the other one is expert authority. What is institutional authority? It is acquired, exercised and defined within the institutions. It may be defined as an institutional right given to a person to exercise power to complete the task and force them to achieve their goals. So duties such as resource allocation, policy dissemination, recommendation, supervision, issue orders or directions on subordinates are vested to institutional authority, right? So managerial tasks, for example, maybe to allocate money or other resources to make policy decisions or recommendations, or seeing projects and issue directives to subordinates on particular topics. So all these are including the institutional authority, right? So what is expert authority? Apart from institutional authority, that is, there is an authority because of knowledge and expertise. Expert authority is the possession of specialist knowledge, skill or competence to perform some tasks or to give some sound advice, right? So it is also known as authority of leadership. So these experts direct others in an effective manner. Example, advisors, experts and consultants are engaged in an organization for a specific term. Right. So accepting authority, think about the moral also when you are accepting some authority, right? So the next topic is collective bargaining. What is collective bargaining? It is a process which is used by companies to solve interpersonal problems between them and their employees. Or otherwise, it's an agreement where each party does something for each other. Okay, right. So this process actually requires a clear goal and time bound program, right? And it needs open conduct and transparency is very important. So there has to be clear communication and respect for others' point of view when you are talking about collective bargaining, right? So it should involve patience, a win-to-win attitude. It should build a trust. It should attack the problems and not the people, and it should require tolerance and flexibility about the change for the benefit of all. That is most good for most people, right? So the favors are high salary, decision making, job security, etc. Whereas the against things are destruction to economy, opponent decision making and individual negotiations. Okay, so this is collective bargaining, right? So every organization employing more than 20 persons could have a union, and in some organizations they have a single union and more than one is also permitted. So when you are allowing unions are formed to take care of the interest of the employees. So they have lot of bargaining power due to due to size. So unions can often prevent unethical acts of the employers. They give job security and protection against ill treatment. So this is what we are learning in collective bargaining, and which is very, very important for us throughout our life, right? And then we are going to talk about confidentiality. What is confidentiality? Confidentiality is a set of rules or a promise that limits access or places restrictions on certain types of information. So confidentiality is the key, right? So it means keeping the information on the employer and clients as secrets. So it is one of the most important aspects of team work. Confidentiality implies that a communication is kept secret and will remain private. Okay, so that is very, very important. So when a professional is employed in any organization, he or she has he or she will get so much of information, right? That may be treated confidential for various reasons. So keeping such information confidential is one of the important responsibility of a professional, right? So confidentiality occurs at very importantly in fields such as medicine, law, teachers, but in case of engineering, are we doing it or are we having it, right? Obligation to keep the proprietary information of their computers is very, 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 very important, right? So when employees there are some types of information that should be kept confidential. What are those? Information about unreleased products, that is what, right? Design procedure and formulas used, test results and the data, technical specifications and process, quality control procedures. So all these things are to be kept confidential by a professional, that too especially by an engineer, right? So what is confidential information? Information which is to be kept secret for the purpose of running the organization effectively is actually called as confidential information. Okay, so there are few types of confidential information. What are those? First one is privileged information, proprietary information, trade secrets and patents. We'll go one by one. What is privileged information? This is actually a type of information where the access is available to only certain category of employees connected with specific assignments. Okay, so it covers information that has not yet become public or widely known within an organization. So this is privileged information. Next, coming to proprietary information, it is the information that a company owns or is the proprietor of, right? It refers to a new knowledge established within the organization, like an invention or process development that is under experimentation stage and can be legally protected from use by others. Okay, so this is proprietary information. Next one is trade secrets. What is a trade secret? A trade secret can be virtually any type of information that has not become public and which an employer has taken steps to keep secret. Okay, so it may be data about designs and technical process or organization of the plant facilities or quality control procedures, customer lists, business plans and so on, right? So trade secrets are given limited legal protection against employee or contractor abuse. What are patents then? Patents differ from trade secret. Patents legally protect specific products from being manufactured and sold by competitors, okay, without the express permission of the patent holder. Thus, in a patent holder has legally protected monopoly power. Trade secrets have no such protection, whereas patents are protected by statute laws passed in order to provide incentives for creativity. By contrast, the legal protection accorded trade secrets is limited to upholding relationships of confidentiality and trust. So these are the four different types of confidential information, right? So why should engineering information be kept confidential? There are two types of confidential information, that is obvious information and lesser information. That is obvious information is clear, test results and data, information about unreleased products. This is what I told you earlier, right? Design products and formulae for products. Whereas lesser information is number of employees working in products, identity of suppliers, marketing strategies and production costs. Okay, right. So how do we justify our confidentiality? That is justification of confidentiality. There are two levels. In the first level, we are judging based on respect for autonomy, respect for promises and respect for public. In the second level, it is somewhere like this: right based theories, duty based theories and utilitarian theories, right? So what are the grey areas of confidentiality? Right to seek career advancement wherever they choose. And companies have the right to keep information away from the competitors. So they have, this is actually grey areas of confidentiality. So what are the management policies? Use of employment contracts, put tight controls on internal flow of information and follow oral agreements. So these are the management policies to the top secret. So thank you so much for listening this session. Thank you.